Welcome to On the Slab Horror Show.
Hello and welcome back to the On the Slab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Why we do this on a Friday night? Because Friday night is horror night. The slogan was so good, we got it on a t-shirt. And yes, it took me months to find it, but I found it. The t-shirt went missing in my house, but I found it. It's back. But tonight we are joined by a director of a film that I've been following the process of, a very popular and anticipated film. I couldn't think of the right word there. It's an anticipated film upcoming. This is director Mr. James Dean. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you saying everything so nice about the film. It's been a lot of work, just like generating the buzz and raising funds thus far. But I appreciate those kinds of words.
I didn't mention the film name in the intro for reasons. We'll get onto it in a few minutes there. Um, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into the film business?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri. It's the Midwest of
You're not a
America.
Kansas City Chief fan, are you?
I'm not. I don't even like sports that much. So
That's
no.
all right. This podcast would have went completely different.
But no, I grew up watching, the films in the 80s and 90s, and I kind of bonded with my mom that way. And the experience of like film to me has always been magical. When I was younger, it was a bit of escapism, and now it's kind of more it's a mix, when I watch films, it still is escapism, it's fun. And then when I make films, it's kind of a release or an artistic expression. So, and sometimes they're just like boobs and gore, like there doesn't have to be a reason, but I like incorporating a little bit of expression in there. And yeah, I mean, I think just like most people, I'm in my mid 40s. Most people my age, they were raised on the VHS era and going to the rental stores and just enjoying those exchanges and just renting things you never knew what you were going to get. And a lot of fun, and I feel like this is kind of a natural extension of all that. I've always wanted to make film, and I waited till I was 35 before even buying or picking up a camera. And that, for the last 10 years, that's been my mission: just make short films until I could make a feature. And then about 5 years ago I made my first feature, and now starting our fourth. So yeah.
Lovely stuff. That I just at the point you touched on there about renting VHSs.
Yeah.
So I remember VHSs, but to me, when I started renting stuff properly, like I used to get videos from time to time,
Mhm.
but once I had my own kind of money, it was DVDs at that stage. But I used to
Yeah.
work in a video shop,
Yeah.
in a rental shop called Extravision, and it was unreal. But
Yeah.
you said you never know what you were going to get when you were renting stuff. So me and one of my mates used to go in and used to get 5 DVDs for €5 for 5 nights.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'd
Yeah.
go in and we'd pick the worst looking films you could find and see if you got a couple of bangers out of it, like,
Yeah. Well,
which
because
we did.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. You never know. Like there is that real possibility. There's also the possibility of the art just being so good. Like you could go and try to pick up the most awesome looking thing also and end up getting the biggest turd sandwich you've ever experienced. Because like that's a reality also where they just put their entire budget into the art and then they didn't spend anything on making the movie?
See, this is another point that was brought up, and I brought up a few times when we've talked about it with other guests. The one, like, I used to hang around in the video shop when I was younger as well. The one box out of all the movies ever that I remember was House.
Yeah. Yeah,
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 remember the
that's a good
hand
one.
just pushing the doorbell?
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great one. That's a
yeah.
great one. There's one that I always forget the name of it. I think it might have been called Manhunt. I mean, like it's some obscure, like pre-full moon, like Empire phase of like they didn't light anything. It was just horrible, but the art was so cool because it has this like robotic guy. There's actually a few covers that look like this, like this robotic guy with this long arm holding up, choking out like a victim. And like it just looked so cool. And I think I was fooled by that cover like three different times over a period of 3 or 4 years.
You got done every time.
Every time, and as soon as I put it in, I'm like, this fucking movie again. Like, I
God
just
damn
don't.
it,
I
James.
just don't learn.
Now, yeah, the artwork is phenomenal, but like going back to the point of renting films, obviously we rented quite a lot of bad films, like quite a
Yeah,
lot of bad films. And I was only out for dinner with the lads there last week, and we were talking about one. I think it was called The Door or The Apartment or something like that. But it was a film. It was a foreign film, and it was set in an apartment block where this guy was going in through different doors in the apartment trying to get out, and it
yeah,
kept leading them into different stories, right? But all these kind of stories are meant to interlink together, and like there was people dying and people just disappearing into rooms and stuff,
yeah.
right? And the DVD froze or broke and didn't play the last 15 minutes,
Ah,
right? So we brought it back, and the guy that was in the video shop at the time turned around and goes, "Yeah, the last 15 minutes explains everything, but we've only got that one copy." And I've been left never like I still don't know what happened. Um,
that's horrible. That's horrible.
oh, it's disastrous. But as I said, like we went to try and find a couple of bangers. Now I will say we found a couple. Found 2003 Wrong Turn.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Uh, absolutely one of my favorite films. I actually
yeah,
had the pleasure of having Rob Schmidt on the show, the director there recently.
yeah.
It's an absolute banger of a film.
That was a really fun one. I feel like it. You could break down films by different decades or
Mm,
whatever, and like people want to always kind of shit on the '90s and early 2000s, but the early 2000s had some really fun films.
yeah,
Especially
there was a lot of
especially
them.
yeah, especially in like retrospect. Like Wrong Turn was great. I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
And like I'm part of it. Like, well, I'm not. I say I'm part of this thing. So
That's my dog.
nice, nice. Fucking gave me a heart attack there. I was like, what the fuck's that? So I was on that point where I've brought it up a few times where some movies you can kind of go and you don't need nudity in it.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? And like sometimes it's in it and like there's nothing wrong with it being in it. Some movies just don't need it, but it's shoehorned in for absolutely no reason.
yeah,
That one was good because it didn't really do it. Obviously, there's the one scene at the start, and then it just goes on and carries on, and there's no more. It is let's just
yeah.
have sex in the middle of the woods.
I I think also it just depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to make. And also like a lot of filmmaking comes down to, who you're trying to appeal to in that moment, you know? Um and there's no right or wrong way to like enjoy a movie or like taste in movies, like I don't know. I grew up watching like the sleaziest films, and I also I love like Akira Kurosawa films. Like I love it all. Like I love the medium. I love the variety. Just I don't
Yeah,
know.
you,
Yeah,
you get bits of everything. It depends on the tone of the movie. But what I'm saying is, when like in the middle of that movie, if there was happened to be a sex scene in the middle of it, it probably would have taken away
yeah,
from it for no reason. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure, for sure. I think you can easily screw up like the tension that you're building.
yeah,
You know? For
absolutely.
sure. Yeah. Like, I totally agree with that. I think it's easy to do that. And I think if you're just trying to make a boob fest,
That's okay too.
that's okay too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll
I,
allow it.
right. I found it weird, like, so I made Triple Xmas, and like there is tons of nudity in that for sure. But like once a lot of the killing started, like I couldn't like it's an insane storyline, right? Santa loses his shit and starts killing people on a porn set. Like
Yes.
that's a pretty out there thing. But like how could I justify all these people continuing to have sex or just running around naked if they just saw people being murdered? You can't. Like it doesn't make sense. So at some point then nudity and sex has to stop and you kind of have to pivot to the killing?
Yeah. Grand at the start or thing, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So,
like then, like as I said, we found a couple of other ones. We found Dog Soldiers, best werewolf
oh,
movie ever made.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Also,
Joe Bob just showed it again like a month ago or so, right? I don't know if you
I
watched
I
Joe
don't know.
Bob.
I don't have that.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I actually had Neil Marshall on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so like two of my all time favorite horror films. I've had the director on. The Mutilator from 1984.
Okay.
I had Buddy Cooper on.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah,
we were
yeah.
speaking about the Mutilator. earlier, but just off
Yeah,
screen. Had Buddy Cooper on. It's another one of my favorite films. So 3 of my 4 favorite horror films I've
that's
had the
awesome.
director on. I won't ever get the other one
Yeah,
because he no longer lives. But
yeah,
poor old Wes Craven for
yeah,
Nightmare on Elm Street is the big one.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That is it's a classic, but it's so good.
oh,
Yeah,
so good,
yeah,
so good. But yeah, like the point there was like the artwork, the boxes, some of what you get in terms of the nostalgia of watching random films, the release.
yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah, and it just like I mean, like, so I recently started like I've had probably 100 tapes or so, I don't know, sitting around, and I have a couple VCRs, um, but I recently started collecting them again, and it's kind of been fun because what I've been doing is whenever I see online, like Facebook groups is where I buy most of them. I'll try to buy three, four, five, six of them at a time, and I'll try to buy 75% of the ones that I know and a couple that I've never seen. And it's fun because when it comes in, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out, and I don't know. Like I just don't know. I may have heard of it or I've seen it sitting around on the shelf back in the day, but it's really fun. It's kind of reinvigorated kind of that feel of like the rental shop era, you know?
Nice. Do you know what? In my ma's house, I'm pretty sure there's a box of my old videos up in the
Yeah.
attic,
Yeah.
right? And there's one that I know is there. It's in a gold box, and it's Jason and the Argonauts from 1964.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's in a gold box. The cover was Jason, the dragon, the gold fleece.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, phenomenal.
You gotta be
Phenomenal.
you gotta be careful because the tapes, if they're in the wrong like levels of humidity, they can get mold.
Oh,
And that
these things are definitely fucked.
I was
They're
gonna
up
say,
there.
yeah, yeah. You can still watch them that way, but what happens is the mold spores get transferred to the VCR and then it'll get transferred to other tapes.
I
Um,
don't have a VCR anymore.
yeah,
I don't even
yeah,
have
yeah.
a DVD player.
I hear you. Yeah, yeah. Not a lot of people do, yeah. I was just looking up I not that I have the resources to get too deep into this cuz some of these VHSs are ridiculously expensive now.
Oh,
Um
really?
oh no, no, not oh really. Killer Clowns from Outer Space goes for upward of $2,500. Some of the editions.
What?
Yeah, yeah, that's insane, right? Like
I need to dig out that box.
you may need to. You may need to.
I'm pretty
And
sure I'm pretty sure I have that on video.
yeah, and so keep in mind some of those are like eBay prices, but still, like if you go to some of the few stores that are around, you could probably get upward of 500 to $1,000 if you have a first edition Killer Clowns, for sure. With the original art in great condition. Um, Keep in mind if you do have mold on these tapes, there are ways to clean the mold, and if it's a tape like that, you would want to clean it as opposed to throwing it out,
Huh,
because yeah, yeah. So there are possibilities. But yeah,
nice.
it's a pretty cool little thing, and yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
been it's been a newer hobby of mine collecting new old tapes. So
Expensive hobby.
it can be. I have a buddy who's gonna send me 100 tapes, and he's gonna charge me just a little bit over shipping. And like some of these tapes are like old exploitation films and horror films. And I asked him, I was like, man, you could get a lot of money for the not a lot, but you can get a couple $100 at least for them, probably more. And he's like, man, I just want him to go to a loving home. I was like, well, check that box off because I'm gonna love them all to hell, and I won't sell them. I'm not trying to resell things. I'm
I'm gonna watch the shit out of them too.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I love the medium. I love film. So like why would I, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we might as well jump back into some of yours. So obviously, with you being in the States and the indie scene being almost non-existent over here, I haven't had a chance to check out any of your work, bar what I've seen on your upcoming one. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the three that you've directed so far?
Yeah, yeah. So each one is pretty different from the other. Fontaine and the Vengeful Nun Who Wouldn't Die is kind of a love letter to exploitation films. I mean, the lead character is a nun with an eye patch, and she hunts down corrupt clergy and gang members with a katana. I mean, like, there's not much more you need to know. It's pretty love letter to 60s and 70s exploitation films.
So
And
it's very similar to Kill Bill in that kind of way.
you know, I when someone says that to me, or if someone asks me what it's about, I will often, if they don't know films, or if they don't know enough films from the 60s and 70s, I will tell them that it's Kill Bill with zero budget. That's what I will tell them. Now, if you know enough films and we can dig into it, I will tell them how it's like inspired by a lot of the same films as Kill Bill might have been. But again, no budget.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm intrigued. I'll definitely get it. I'll definitely try and find it somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We'll make it happen. Let me
We'll
know.
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, yeah,
Your people
yeah.
will talk to my people.
Yes. Which just means I'll be messaging you.
Shh, we need to
um,
sound better.
so the second film that we shot is actually the third one we released. And that's Absolution. That one has one last screening coming up, and then we're actually going to it'll be on streaming. So Absolution is a revenge thriller. It's about a Vietnam veteran who discovers a girl who was roughed up by some gang members. He kind of takes her home, patches her up, and it kind of starts this trajectory of revenge. Just revenge. He's an older guy, but he does have that experience of having been in the war and having to use tactics that were pretty immoral and just crazy. And it made for a really it, it's my favorite film that we've made, because we had just the sweet spot as far as enough days on set. It was the one that probably meant the most to me. And it's also the most that is set in reality. Because obviously Fontaine is pretty exploitation, and then Triple Xmas, which is the third one or the second one we released. It's I think I described it earlier. Santa loses his shit and he attacks people on a porn set, and it you know it, it is what it is. It's a Christmas horror film. A lot
You
of
know what you're
really
getting.
yeah, a lot of really cool, gnarly kills. Some gratuitous blood and guts and nudity and sex scenes, and yeah, I mean it's fun. I think Triple Xmas is probably the most fun out of all of them. And it's short. It's a quick watch. It's like 75 minutes. So
Sweet.
it's yeah. And that leads us to the new film, which is My Blade Is Your Salvation. And that's a love letter to Giallo films. And it'll also be much more grounded. Um, I think most films, even like really big budgeted, like Christopher Nolan films, if you like movies in general, you need to go into them with a suspension of disbelief. And if you just want to keep picking things apart, then you probably don't like films, is my theory.
His Nolan is a polarizing figure because I like some of his films
Hmm.
and other ones I'm just like I have no interest, like
Yeah,
zero.
yeah. I've seen probably 95% of his movies. There's a couple I haven't seen. I think he's a fantastic filmmaker. Of course now he has budgets, but I think he was always a fantastic filmmaker.
Oh,
Having
visually stunning.
right, right. But at the same time, if you don't have suspension of disbelief, I guess what I'm getting at there is no matter how seeped in reality a film is, there's at least part of it that is very not real.
Yeah,
And I think down deep we know that.
yeah. See, I struggle at points with that when Joe, when you're watching a movie, right, and it's say it's an intense, like I'll always go back to the example of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Hmm.
right? I love that movie for 80% of it,
Yeah.
and then it gets to the dinner scene, right? And you know when the granddad comes back and he starts drinking the blood,
Yeah.
that's it. I'm gone. That's it. Film
Yeah.
gone. Over for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm out because
Well,
you've created a very real scenario and then just thrown this random zombie thing come back, and I'm like,
yeah.
why? Like,
Yeah.
why?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Toby Hooper claimed that that was a very pitch black comedy. I have a hard time believing that. I don't know. I don't I don't know if you ever heard him.
I'm not gonna deny the guy's opinion, but I don't believe
I
him for some reason.
no, exactly. I mean, he did make the film, but I'm kind of in the same camp as you.
Mm,
Matter of fact, exactly how you said it, I find that hilarious and very true.
mm. See, with that actually happening in the film, I tend to say that the '03 remake is better
Mm,
because
yeah,
it follows a path. Apart from Leatherface himself, I think Beryansky or whatever, however you say his name is, was far too big. Even though he was only 3 inches bigger than Gunnar Hansen was, but he was
yeah,
far too physically imposing.
mm, yeah,
Um, Apart from that, I think everything else in the '03 one is better.
yeah.
And
I
Orly Emery is just ridiculous in it. He is
I
so
mean,
good.
he's that type of role for anyone. Like when you think of that type of role, you think of him first. Like he is the standard in which every person for like either a sheriff or
Yeah.
like a sergeant or something in the army, like that is the standard, like he kind.
Clancy Brown does a good job at it too.
I mean, yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, they're both excellent character actors. Also,
Yeah,
like not just good, but they're excellent.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, for sure. I I I won't argue over. I mean, I don't feel like we would argue anyway, but I won't dispute your claim that '03 is better than the original, but I mostly because of Jessica Biel in that white shirt. But but I think the original is over the '03 for me personally. I now in '03 when I saw it, I wouldn't have said that. But I think now I'm at that point. There's this like there's this dirty, gritty feeling. Like you feel like you're in the heat and you smell the characters from the
Yeah, yeah.
original,
I do get that too.
for sure.
And what I don't like when people argue with me about it and they're like, "Oh, well, the original one's a classic," but that doesn't make it better. Do
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
And
Yeah,
like when someone validates a point to me, and as you said, it looks dirty. It definitely does. Like the '03
yeah,
one is very clean,
yeah.
very crisp, and everything. Um, so when people tell me, "Oh yeah, well, it came first, so it has to be better," no.
I don't agree with that at all. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I mean I think it is really interesting the glasses that like we put on when we're looking at like through a nostalgic lens, Like
yeah.
I think you have a great point there. I a counterpoint to saying that something came first so it must be better. Like I don't know if you saw the remake of The Hills Have Eyes, but I
Oh,
think
it's so much better.
that was exactly what I was gonna say. I think
Oh,
it is in another league. And again, you just mentioned how you absolutely love Wes Craven. So
yeah,
that's not saying anything negative about the man himself,
yeah.
Uh, but your preference over one version versus the other. I think
I
the yeah, yeah,
I was never sold on the original one. I didn't like it when I seen it first. And no, I will say I seen the original one before I seen the '03 one.
okay,
Um,
yeah,
but I was never sold, and it just like Berryman was brilliant,
yeah.
but for me it just didn't do anything. And then I seen the Alejandro Aria one, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Well, you
uh,
knew you were in for something special there. I mean,
well,
have you seen
you knew you were in for something special when your man gets a fucking pickaxe through the eye in the first minute, and you're like, shit.
I mean, that's great. I love that. Like deep down, um, I could spend the rest of my life just making like super gory fun films and I'd
Yeah,
probably be content. Uh
yeah.
that's definitely something that really like brought me in. Some of my favorite films, Evil Dead 2 and Brain Dead Dead Alive. I mean like they are so splat stick, they are so gooey and they're so over the top funny, like they're silly, but in like the most horrific gory way, and
The Sumatran rat monkey.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Eh,
yeah.
did you know? Obviously, Peter Jackson directed both of them,
Oh yeah,
but that and King Kong are linked.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Mm,
I remember reading about that, and I think I saw a little. Yeah, I saw something about it. I
yeah.
have my background is blurred out, but right there I have a painting of it's like a zombie portrait family, and it's Dr. Tongue from The Day of the Dead. It's
Nice.
the girl from Return of the Living Dead Part 3 with the piercings, and then it's the baby from Dead Alive. I don't know if I can turn
That he
off the
puts that he puts in the blender.
Yes, yes. It's hard to see. It's hard to see. Hold on, hold on. I have to
I can kind of see it. Yeah,
the
that's
light.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's I had a friend make that for me and it was just yeah.
I remember seeing Dead Alive. I was about 12, and I was in my mate's house that I used to rent the videos with, and
Yeah.
his older brother had it on video, and he lent it to me and my mate to go and watch it. And I had just seen the original Evil Dead,
Yeah.
and I was like, "This is just a blatant rip
Oh,
of
it's
Evil
yeah.
Dead." Like, obviously they changed the chainsaw
Yeah.
to a lawnmower, and I was like, "What is even going on?"
I mean
But
I can see that.
it's
I can
all
see that.
around crazy. Now, I've since rewatched it, and obviously you can tell that it's not just a blatant rip, but it wasn't long after. I was 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah. I I
But
I th I think they both easily, embody the whole idea of splat stick, where
yeah,
it's so over the top that it's like, "What are we doing here?" You know? I mean so, one thing that, like, you'll clearly see, if if you ever watch my films, you'll see that I am a huge fan of film without trying to recreate other people, like, without trying to directly recreate other filmmakers' movies. I think whenever filmmakers get down that category and they start to try to recreate their favorite movie, be it Wes Craven or Dario Argento or doesn't matter, Sam Raimi, because I love Sam Raimi's early stuff. When you try to recreate that, all you're doing is putting yourself at a severe disadvantage. Because one, you're not them. Two, you don't have their budget or talent or skill set. And there's a reason why they're revered the way they are, and then on top of all that, you have the lenses of nostalgia of everyone loving that. So if you try to recreate what they did, you're just going to appear to be a hack. So I like to sometimes incorporate little bits and little things, or and sometimes little bits of dialogue. I directly 100% lifted from Brain Dead, Dead Alive. You kick ass for the Lord. I wasn't gonna make a fucking movie about a crazy maniac nun without having that line in my film. Now, how many people picked up on that? A very small amount, probably, but yeah, you better yeah. I'm definitely gonna incorporate that with a movie like that, Like, why wouldn't I? It's a fantastic line.
absolutely. And like obviously I don't make movies, but I use film quotes all the time.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Like all the time. I have certain ones, like I use Jeff Goldblum's "Life Finds a Way" all the time.
I mean, it's Goldblum. How can you
Mm,
not quote that man?
yeah. I like I there's loads of them that I use. But, like, there's certain ones that just pop up, and when it fits the situation, I'm like, "Yes, here we go."
Yeah, yeah. I found myself doing that to such a degree that, like, eventually people just, like, shake their heads at me, especially my girlfriend. Anyone that I'm with that often.
Yeah, women just don't understand.
I um I have there was this show in the late 80s, early 90s called Dream On. And it was on HBO, and not a lot of people know about the show, but his entire experience in life was him so that they filmed the show and he has ex-wife and a kid and all this stuff. It's a comedy, whatever. And as he experiences life, his brain flashes back to the movies he had watched in the 50s and 60s. And so they use those clips as like comedic relief of what his internal monologue is.
Oh,
And
nice.
I feel like that's kinda how I experience life, like, when someone says something or does something, it just, like, flips back to a moment of me watching a movie or a TV show from the '80s or '90s.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Not a lot of people have seen that, but it definitely reminds me of my
I
experience in life.
I probably wasn't born if it was in the '80s. I was only born in the '90s.
Alright, I mean, that's fair. I was born in 1980, but um I had 2 older sisters, and they were significantly older than me. So, even though I was only, I was born in '80, so at the late '80s, I was 8, 9, But I was experiencing things like I was a teenager because my older siblings were listening to like John Cougar Mellencamp and all that stuff, you know?
Oh, nice, nice.
Like the musicians that were popular for teenagers at the time. So yeah.
See, I was the oldest.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So,
No, no.
no, my turn in horror started as my parents turned around and told me that I couldn't watch 3 movies in my life.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
It, it,
Exorcist,
I knew that was one of them. I knew that was go ahead, keep going.
Exorcist, Texas Chainsaw, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, really? I'm surprised on the last one, but I mean, I guess I could see,
I
you
I
know,
don't I don't even know why. My ma doesn't like the film.
yeah,
My ma doesn't really watch horror films, but she's seen that in the cinema or something, and she said she didn't like it at all.
like the demonic entity kind of
Yeah,
probably. Yeah,
pretty
that's
much,
my
yeah.
guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
back in I was 12 or between 11 and 12, and we used to have the TV guide to see what was on.
yeah, yeah,
And I seen Nightmare on Elm Street was on one Friday evening
yeah,
at like 11:15, and I snuck down the stairs and I watched the shit out of it.
yeah, yeah. Well, you
Yeah,
had to. You had
yeah.
to. You were curious for one. I
And
mean,
I'm gonna say I was 11, and by the time I was 12, I'd seen all 3 of them that I wasn't
okay.
allowed to watch,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was just hooked,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
hooked.
honestly, I love the first 3. I mean, I even loved I mean, I loved a lot of them. I mean, obviously, once we started getting to Freddy playing the video games, it started to lose a
That was
little bit of its
so funny though.
No,
That was
exactly.
so funny.
It just pivoted. Like, how can a franchise go from from a basically a serial killer who it's alluded molested children, right? It's
Yep.
definitely implied. To him playing video games and us laughing with him as he kills people. Like, how does a franchise have that trajectory and
I
remain successful?
I don't believe that anybody ever, and not even New Line, envisaged what
No,
Freddy Krueger was gonna do. He
right?
became a pop culture icon all over the world.
Yeah,
So I think it made sense to try and go that way to incorporate newer
yeah,
people to watch it,
yeah, yeah.
and trying to go with the times at the time because obviously video games became bigger at the times they were coming out.
Right.
And I'd say they got endorsement deals off the likes of Sega or whoever it was.
Yeah,
I can't remember the console that they were using, but
yeah. Me neither.
um,
Yeah,
I remember the scene, but I'm gonna go with like a Super Nintendo or something. I'd
yeah.
say, but yeah, like don't get me wrong, like the icon, and it saved New Line Cinema, right?
Oh yeah, for
Which
sure.
which which is an undisputable fact. No one can ever deny that. And like New Line have the house that Freddie built above the door.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? Which is great. But without that, you don't get Lord of the Rings and things
yeah,
like that. So
yeah.
what the guy done, I give him any pass that they want, really.
Right, right. Did you know, with part 2, they didn't wanna even bring Robert Englund back. They thought they could just put anyone under the makeup,
Yeah,
and
that was a bad idea.
yeah, no, for sure, for sure. I mean, like, he did return, but I think at first they were trying to shoot things without him, and then they realized, "Hey, we have to have." I mean,
Mm,
he is the
he
franchise.
the fact that he wasn't even the first person. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, I don't remember who it was that they wanted originally,
They had cast and he done the makeup test.
yeah.
Hold on, I'll get the guy's name. I know usually who it is, but I just can't think of it offhand. Cast. Who was originally cast as Freddie Mercury? David Warner.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
and again,
apparently
I
there's
love
issues.
I love him as a character actor, but I cannot imagine him in a million years being Freddy Krueger, you know?
I think that's the problem though, isn't it? No, whether whether Wes found it or the producers or somebody seen it,
Yeah.
but there is a picture of him with the makeup on, and the makeup looks completely different as well.
Yeah, well, sure, it's a completely different face. You know, it's, but also with having Robert Englund so instrumental and just such a I mean, he is Freddy Krueger. The problem is that's why there isn't any newer movies because,
Oh, well, there
you're
is, but we don't talk
well,
about it.
yeah, we're not gonna and, and I like Jackie Early, what's his name? Jackie Early
Jack,
Haley?
Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like him a lot, but I don't like him in that movie.
So
And yeah,
I've brought this up. Obviously, the original one is my favorite film. Um,
yeah.
in horror, and it also holds my favorite scene in any film history. Of the one when he's coming out in the alley and his arms are out, and I'm
That's
like, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's my favorite film scene. But I went to see that 2010 remake on
yeah,
opening night,
yeah.
right? And I came out of the cinema at like 11 o'clock or whatever, and I was like, I don't know if I like that or not,
Yeah.
right? So I went home, I slept on it. I got up the next day, I walked back to the cinema, and went to see it again. And
Okay.
I walked out of the cinema and I was like, that was shocking. Do you know what? For 40 minutes of that film, it's pretty decent.
Yeah,
And they give the backstory and they make him unlikable because
yeah,
they actually literally tell you what he's done. Where in the
yeah,
old ones it was alluded.
yeah,
This one they go, yes, this is what it was.
yeah,
Um
yeah,
and they tried to make their own thing from it, and then it all just got muddled. Like
yeah.
Jackie Earle Haley's voice was brilliant. The makeup was atrocious.
The makeup was horrible.
Uh,
That and if you can't nail that, it's just such a uphill
yeah,
battle for you at that
like
point. Yeah.
the cast for that was amazing. Like Rooney Mara was brilliant, but I thought it was a worst performance of her career in that.
Yeah. No,
Kyle Gallner was Kyle Gallner, but again, even he didn't do anything. Clancy Brown, I
yeah.
was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, and you feel like with all the individual ingredients, it should have
Should have
been
worked.
better. Yeah, it should have worked, but like it just doesn't, you know.
Uh,
And from what I remember, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Probably when it first came out, matter of fact, because I disliked it that much. But I remember thinking the first like third or half, like you said, was pretty solid.
Yeah,
It wasn't anything that was like blowing me away, but it was good. I thought I liked the first portion. And then like you said, I think it just like falls apart completely.
it's like they went, no, we want to try and be something original,
Yeah.
and then they just kind of went, no, we got to do this, and then just panicked.
Yeah.
And like the scene when she's running up the stairs and she falls into the steps where they had obviously in the original, remember she's getting in, it's like marshmallow.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
then they done that and she fell in and he's standing at the end of the hall. I was like, oh, this is awful. Awful.
It's it's not good. I'm not a huge fan. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not opposed to like remakes, but like, I don't think whenever a remake is like holds really, really true to the original, I don't like it necessarily. Like, if you're gonna remake it, do something slightly different with it, but not what they did.
Right. Now here we go. I'll throw one of the first wide ball questions at you.
Yeah.
Give me your top five remakes in horror.
Oh wow. Wow. I mean, Hills Have Eyes would definitely be up there.
Okay.
Hills Have Eyes for sure. It's so good.
I'll make it a bit easier. You don't have to do it in order.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not going to be in order for sure.
I
Wow.
actually had Michael Bailey Smith on the show a couple of years ago, who was Pluto in the remake,
Oh, okay.
and he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
telling me a story where they were in Morocco filming it,
yeah,
right? And he has all the makeup and the prosthetics on, and he's in a car driving from one location to the other,
yeah,
and they're stopped in this little town, and your man's crossing with all his sheep, and he looks into the car and he sees him, and he fucking fled, left the sheep and everything. He just went running.
yeah.
Good
I
luck.
mean, I think most people would probably.
And Michael's such a nice guy as well, but he's a
Yeah,
big unit.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I imagine seeing that just sitting in a car, and you're just like, he was just squinched up.
That is so wild. That is so wild. So I have a random story to kind of piggyback off of that though. Like when we were shooting Fontaine the Vengeful Nun Who Wouldn't Die, we shot sometimes like super late. And we were heading out we shot a lot of it in a building in St. Louis City. And the city can be a little rough at night. You know, you're exiting, you're going to your car, and the lead was going to her car and it was like 3 in the morning, and her character in the film, her face gets pretty severely bruised at one point, and she had changed out of wardrobe, so she's just in her normal wardrobe. And I offered to walk her out to her car, and we're walking out to her car, and some homeless guy came up and said, "Hey, are you guys okay?" And I said, "Yeah, we're okay." Like it's like 3 in the morning, like I wasn't trying to be rude or dismissive, but I was like, "We're fine." And then the way I said it must have came off as dismissive. And then I realized after she left that this guy came up to us, saw her face bruised, asked if she was okay. That's really what he was asking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yeah, she's fine. Go away."
You look like an abusive asshole.
That's exactly what it was. I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god. I just look like the biggest asshole in the world." Um so I may struggle to come up with 5, but I definitely have another one, and that is Evil Dead. I wouldn't say that,
You
I think
talking
it's
about the 13 one?
the yes,
That's
yes,
not
yes,
that's
yes.
not a remake though.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, but I mean, like, again, it's a reimagining, it's a remake, I don't know. I mean,
Well,
it's
did you watch Ash versus the Evil Dead?
I did,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
they allude in that that's not a remake,
Yeah,
that's part of it, and then obviously Evil Dead Rise is another one.
yeah,
But
yeah.
okay, I'll allow that one. I really, really enjoyed that,
Yeah.
and for me, that's the best in the franchise.
Really? You think
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Now,
Yeah, I mean,
if
they're
it
all
wasn't
so
for,
different.
if it wasn't for the creature in Rises
Yeah.
at the end, the Evil Dead Rise would have been head above shoulders above everything.
Really? Okay. I mean,
Oh, I thought that was phenomenal for.
I I kind of felt like I liked Evil Dead Rise. I did. I felt like it was a little bit it didn't necessarily I don't know if I want to commit to this, but I feel like they had a hard time committing to just one thing. They kind of wanted a little bit of like Demons 2 with the apartment complex.
Yeah,
I
I
felt
thought
like
that too. Yeah.
and again, I'm not that's not bad. I actually absolutely love those films.
Mm.
But it felt a little bit less Evil Deadish to me. Um and I mean, maybe I've only watched it the one time. I did really enjoy it. And this is not me like saying I
Yeah.
didn't like it. I'm trying to think of other remakes in general. I'm bad when I'm put on the spot as far as finding.
Oh, wait till you get towards the end of this. This ain't
Yeah,
gonna get easier.
I'd I'd probably have to yeah, I'd probably have to look up remakes and see which ones I liked and which ones I didn't like. To be honest with you, because it's like yeah. The Thing, the
I
Thing.
was gonna say you're missing out
Clear,
on the best remake in any
clear.
genre ever.
Yeah, yeah, I was gonna say clearly The Thing. Like that's one of my favorite films of all time. Like I always forget it's a remake.
Yeah, and
But
it's one
yeah,
that
no.
throws people too.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. That's in my top probably 5 films of all time, so it would definitely be in my top
It's
5
it's
of
it's the
remakes.
greatest it's the greatest remake in any genre ever,
I think you're right. I
ever.
mean, I think you're right for sure.
And I will die on that hill. Yeah,
I think you're right. I think you're definitely I think it'd be a hard point to argue for
yeah.
sure. Um what's Vincent Price, what's it called?
House on Haunted Hill.
No. It's they remade it with Will Smith. I'm trying to think.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend, right. So
Yeah.
there was one before the Vincent Price one, actually, which I haven't seen. It was made
Was
in
there?
50. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was a version in 54, his in like the 60s, and then there was Charlton Heston's, I believe. Um,
Oh
and
shit! I better
then
go looking at it. I didn't realize there was more of them.
I think there's 4 versions now. I'm pretty sure, and I could be getting that wrong, but I'm pretty sure there is. I've never seen the original, like the very, very original. But I think that and the Charlton Heston version is pretty strong, as far as remakes go. Again,
I haven't seen them, so I can't.
oh, the Charlton Heston one's really interesting. I feel like it's pretty dark.
I Am Legend. Old films.
Yeah, the I now it
Oh,
doesn't
The
go.
Last Man on Earth.
That's the
That's the
Vincent
Vincent
Price
Price
one.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
I
they're all on. It's a different name. Yeah. Last Man on Earth,
yeah.
1964, and then I Am Legend, and then the Omega Man is the other one. I have seen the Omega Man.
Right. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the Omega Man. I thought there was one other one. I could be wrong.
It's only coming up with three here.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Yeah.
that was it. Um,
I tell you, I like the Will Smith one.
it I liked it. I guess I wish that they wouldn't have
Killed the dog.
used that doesn't okay. That's something that I think people get way too upset about, and I'm gonna tell you right now,
It's funny.
one, I'm vegetarian, 2, I'm a huge, huge dog fan, and I actually wanna open a dog rescue, but this is a fucking movie,
Yeah,
like,
it
when
had
you're
to be
watching
done.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, and yeah, I mean, I understand people getting upset about it, but, like, I'm never gonna turn off a movie because of an animal getting
No,
hurt.
no.
Like, now I will, in fact, turn off movies if, animals were hurt for real, and I have.
Mm.
So, like, that's the difference, like, there's a huge difference to me between fiction and what's really happening, you know? And there are movies that I've turned off because I realized that there were real life animal cruelty occurring to make the movie, you know?
So, would Jaws fall into that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know. Well, they didn't use a real
They
shark in
did, yeah.
that.
The
What?
tiger shark that's hung up was a real shark.
I guess you're right. So I I'm coming around on Jaws, but I was never a huge fan of Jaws.
Interesting.
It took a bunch of friends to like really get me to come around on it. I think of like cannibal, what is it? One of the cannibal movies where they kill a turtle for
Oh,
pretty much
Cannibal
no reason.
Holocaust.
Yeah, yeah. And then I watched part of a alligator movie the other day where they basically just like stab an alligator in its head, and I was like, That's real. Like, there's no way
Which,
they faked that back in the '70s." I think it's called
which,
Alligator. I think the name
oh
of the
yeah, the
movie
one
is
that
called.
comes out of the sewer.
No, 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 no. This is before that. It was it was a movie again that Joe Bob played.
Oh,
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, like I was watching it because he was showing it. He's a horror host. If you're not familiar, I don't.
I know who he is.
Okay,
All right,
okay, yeah,
yeah.
okay, yeah,
He was
yeah.
also a dickhead casino worker in
Yes,
Casino.
he was. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right about that.
yeah.
But yeah, no, he was playing it, and so I was watching, and I don't get to watch a lot of his shows because of when they come on, and then I saw that, and I was like, well, fuck, I'm done with this one. But at the same time,
Interesting.
when it's fiction, I'm just not, it's fiction.
Yeah,
I don't.
I see.
Yeah,
I would be like that. I don't really care too much, because I can put it away. I just love how triggered people got with that. Uh,
yeah. There's
But I remember going to see Marley and Me, the kids
yeah,
film,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and the girl I went to see it with, I was sitting there after 15 minutes of the film, and I was like, "You do realize how this movie's gonna end, don't you?" And she's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "They're going to kill that dog." And she's like, "No, they're not." And then Joe, when it gets to the bit where she has the miscarriage,
Yeah.
I looked at her in the cinema and I says, "You do realize it's coming?" I says, "They're after killing an unborn child in this film. They're going to kill that dog." And she's like, "No, they
Yeah.
won't. It'll be a happy story." And I was like, "They're going to kill the dog." I was like, "Just be
Yeah.
aware that this is going to happen here."
I don't remember like what my thought process was going in to see that movie, if I realized it or not. I feel like I thought most people knew going in that it wasn't a happy ending. It's based on a book also, right? I mean,
I didn't know that.
I
I just got told that that's what we were going to see.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Mm,
Have you ever seen I mean, you're probably familiar, this isn't horror related, but you're probably familiar with John Wick, right?
yes,
So obviously his dog gets killed, and it starts the entire franchise, right?
it
Of him
fucks
killing.
everything up.
Have you ever seen they remade a short version of that, some visual effects artists, and what they did was in the new version, John Wick gets killed, and the dog gets the gun and goes around and kills people with the gun. And
Oh
like
shit.
it's only like 3 or 4 minutes long because imagine doing the visual effects on that, but it's pretty fucking phenomenal because the dog just like holds it in his mouth and is shooting people left and right. It's
No,
insane,
I only
but it's
rewatched that there recently, the first one, because I was flicking through Facebook and the videos popped up,
yeah,
and it's like when Thing's dad rings oh, what the fuck is his name? He rings the garage and he's like, "You struck my son," and it's like, "Yeah, can you tell me why he killed John Wick's dog?"
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
yeah.
I was like, "You know what? I have to go and watch this again now." I forgot
Yeah.
it's only a puppy when they kill it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
And
"Shit, you're all fucked up now."
it's fucked up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And his dying fiance or wife gave it to him, right? So
Yeah, she
like
sends it to him after she's dead, yeah.
okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
And I was like, "Jesus Christ." I was like, But I love the scene. So obviously after that happens and he kills all the first lads that come and the cop knocks on the door. He's like, "You working again, John?" No.
It's been so long since I've seen the first one. I mean, I watched all of them through. I haven't seen the new one. I haven't seen Ballerina or whatever it is.
I haven't
The
seen
new
4 or Ballerina.
Okay. 4 has there's some moments in 4 that it pushes so hard on your suspension of disbelief. And I know I'm saying that after you've already seen the first 3 and clearly the stunts and like the craziness that unravels like
I wasn't
sure.
sold on 3.
Okay, okay. 4 has a fight scene on a stairway that is some of the best fighting choreography, some of the best everything, but it's just like no one could do this. Like no one. But if you're okay with saying fuck it, I don't care, it's John Wick, I think it's really good, you know.
Jackie Chan could do it.
Maybe.
Jackie Chan can do whatever he wants.
And Jackie Chan's like in his 70s now, so
I don't
you know.
care. I seen him doing the Karate Kid Legends movie.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's
It's
good.
definitely
I enjoyed
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Mm,
Do he and Ralph Macchio fight? That's the question.
No,
Oh, that's unfortunate.
no. The story's actually really good to it though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see it, but what inevitably happens is
Life.
well, even more than that. I mean, honestly, even more than that, like making movies limits my time to watch movies. I would watch fuck 5 to 10 more movies every week if I wasn't making movies. You know, I spend 20 to 50 hours a week making movies, you know? Because when you're doing indie film, the thing that people don't talk about is I'm not just directing the film. I wrote the film, I'm producing the film, I'm taking care of all the little details that no one else is here to take care of, you know? And the little details add up quick. And if you don't make sure those little details are taken care of, then it shows on screen, you know? And even when you have a department head for all the major departments, there's going to be things that fall through the cracks and there's going to be last minute issues and you know, it just adds up and the amount of time I spend making movies, it severely limits how much time I can spend watching them, you know?
That's just unfortunate.
It is, but it just it's a completely different, you know, it's a completely different thing. And you know, in my case, I had a lot of fun introducing like my director of photography, my first AC, my grip, like my camera team. They're all 30 and under, and they all had never seen a giallo film before we started working on this. And now
That's
we've
sacrilege.
watched well, I mean, you know, everyone has their own thing, you know, and but now they've seen, I want to say 6 or 7 that I've introduced them to. And we watched them all together and we discussed them and we talked about the things I liked from them and the things I didn't like and what I want to incorporate and what I don't. But it's also just a fun way to get with friends and watch more movies, also, you know.
Well,
But
we're working.
I mean, it had to happen. You know, if you're working with people that are helping you shape the look of the film and they've never seen a giallo film, I can try to communicate that, but without them having ever seen one, they're going to be pretty lost, you
There's only
know?
so much you can say, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And at the same time, you know, I've probably seen 30 or 40 giallo films, you know, and some of them are, I couldn't even tell you their titles because like they just were like random movies that I'll probably never watch again. But, you know, having them experience and watch a couple of them, and I tried to pull from different because even the term giallo, it can mean so many different things to so many different people, you know? There's the sleazier ones, there's the bloodier ones, there's you know, there are some tropes or stereotypes or like stylistic choices that are pretty fluid in between all of them, but um they're all a little different. Some have more of that neon lighting, some don't. You know, it's just it's
It's a film term that's used, but it doesn't define a film
yeah,
in a way.
yeah. I
It's weird.
There's different types of giallo, I guess. It's like saying a slasher film. I mean, how many different types of slasher films are there, you know?
Well,
And
you've got
y-
loads. You've got your slow methodical one. You've got your Freddy one.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
got possession based slashers.
It's yeah, they're all over the place. And I feel like giallo's the same. But a giallo is really the proto slasher. It's what it's what created the slasher film, you know? It's
Yeah,
where it started, you know? And so, yeah,
here we are.
yeah,
So just we'll touch on My Blade Is Your Salvation, the cast that you've got together so far.
yeah,
Um, so I'm just going through it here. You've got Jessa, who is everywhere because she's
yeah.
awesome.
She's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the iconic Felissa Rose.
Also just amazing
Mm,
human, just an amazing human being, outside of anything else, just a
mm.
fantastic. If you ever get the chance to meet anyone in your life, put her at the top of your list. She will not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. She is the sweetest human being you'll ever meet.
She actually done a Comic Con in London
Yeah,
last year, and I was him and Han. I was trying to work things out to go, and I was
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
just didn't do it. Like we've one of the lads that's been on the show a couple of times, Daniel John Carney.
Hmm.
Him and her are really good friends, and I was like,
Yeah,
you gotta hook me up here, bro.
yeah, yeah.
You
I'm
gotta
sure
hook
she'd
me up.
I'm sure she'd come on for sure. She's so sweet. She is
She's
so
just
sweet.
she's just too busy.
Yeah, she's very busy. She's very, very busy. Even, like, when I text her and, like, I'm talking to her about production things, sometimes I have to be like, "Hey, Felissa, do you remember we need to talk about" But, I mean, like, when I say when we talk about her being busy, like, that's an understatement. She does so many conventions, she does so many films, and she just loves interacting with fans and just being part of the whole horror atmosphere, you know? So,
Uh,
yeah.
when we were first starting out, when we got one of our first guests, I can't remember who it was, and I put it up. I put the episode up on Instagram, and I was sitting there. Next thing you know, she commented on it. I was like, oh shit, lads, we're in." Uh,
Right,
uh,
right, right.
Li-
Yeah.
Lynn Lowry's another one. She's just her name is just everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm so excited. This is the first time I've ever worked with her, but I mean, she's worked with the greats, and like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
everyone.
yeah, yeah. So,
Obviously former guest Bill Oberst Jr. is in there as well.
uh,
He's just such a cool guy.
right, right. I was a little, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know. I mean, I know of him, but I didn't know who he was as a person. And there's a difference between signing on someone because you want them to be in your film because of name, talent, or skill or anything. But we spent about 30 minutes on the phone, and such a down to earth, humble, kind human. And for me, that always is the most important aspect of doing anything in life, I I'm so excited to work with him. And he is
That
so talented.
that man showed up on this show wearing a full three-piece suit,
That's awesome.
and he had a Lou Chaney fucking Wolfman pin.
Hell yeah. That
Yeah,
is awesome. That is
like a champ.
Yeah, yeah. That is
Uh,
phenomenal.
Mel is another one. I'm trying to work out a date to try and get her on, but she's fucking
She's
jam
busy.
packed.
She is very busy, and she's also incredibly sweet. She came recommended to me by someone. I had never worked with her before. Obviously, she's very well known, especially in the indie horror realm, and
Because she's
just
everywhere.
yeah, yeah, she's incredible. The conversations I've had with her, that's yeah. Keep going, because I'm so excited about everybody involved. I'm not gonna lie.
So obviously on the IMDb has her proper name with Samantha Hupp, but everyone knows her as Sammy Morningstar.
Right, right,
Uh, Another
and
one
she's
I'm trying to lay down, and she's just fucking everywhere. I'm like, just stop.
so busy. She's so busy. Yeah, I talked to her a little bit about potentially reading for a part. I sent her some sides and she read for a part. And I said, "You're going to be at she was going to be at a convention that was like 4 hours away from me, and I was already going to the convention. And
Oh,
do me a favor, stop by, say hello. Let's talk about the part. Let's talk about let's just talk a little bit. Because as you can tell, it's a reoccurring theme that um my first priority is getting people involved who are just awesome, you know?
yeah, that works.
And then skill and talent also are really nice. And it's funny how that tends to also follow when you find really cool people. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of that story.
And then we've got the ultimate badass, Miss Amber Brooke as well.
Right, right. First time working with her, very similar. She, I think, lives on the East Coast, so it's like a 12-15 hour drive for her to get to where I'm at. And I talked to her for 30 minutes and I
She's
had
so
seen
badass.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I had seen a few things that she'd done and I was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's make that happen, you know?
I still have only seen one that she was in. It was the Fan Jason film.
Yeah, same, same.
When she was on the show, like she's just everywhere now.
Yeah, 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 and I think you're gonna see more and more of that, and it a lot of it goes down to just how amazing of a person she is, and that, I say that having not worked with her in person, but having talked to her enough, and then also having had enough other people message me and be like, "Man, Amber's so cool, and, like, I loved working with her, so you're gonna have a good time working with her, and she's so sweet," and, someone was just messaging me earlier about how she was on a film and she was making breakfast for everybody. Her and her husband were making breakfast for everybody,
Yeah,
like
August is a good guy too.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy. Yeah,
yeah. The no, yeah, I had her on the show a while ago. I need
yeah,
to line up another episode actually, to be honest.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, the cast is lining up.
For sure, and,
Um,
also there's people that you may not be as familiar with, but, like, Brian Davis, he's, a really good friend of mine, and he's also been someone that I've worked with for 7 years now, 6, 7 years, and he's the lead of the film, and he's a stunt choreographer, he's a martial artist, and he's also an actor, and
oh,
he's just all around, if you watch Absolution, he's one of the primary people in it. And he plays the master in Fontaine, the vengeful nun who wouldn't die. And so he's just you'd see the reoccurring theme of people I've worked with and how we're building as we go. And we'll continue to do that where we keep working with some of the same people and we'll keep introducing new people and it'll just be kind of a combination of that. Um
nice.
Morgan Milliam. She was Morgan Thompson when she worked with me on Triple Xmas. She's the lead of Triple Xmas. And she got married, she changed her last name, but she's also back. She's in My Blade Is Your Salvation. And you'll see her, she's in a lot of indie films also, and just a
It's a
fantastic person.
it's a name. It's a name that keeps popping up as well.
Yeah, yeah. You
Um,
definitely want to talk to her. She's a good guest and just a good person. Her and her husband are awesome, and it's interesting because you do become friends with all these people.
yeah, like
I'm trying
I
to
keep in contact with quite a lot of the people that have been
yeah,
on the show, and I tend to follow their work pretty much.
yeah,
Now, as I said before, like it's hard for me to get stuff
yeah,
unless they're sent to me. So I do keep in contact, obviously, to try and follow. And then, lucky enough, most of them are quite nice and send me over stuff to watch.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll,
So
I'll definitely be sending you a screener or two, just because I want you to check it out, and I think yeah, yeah, yeah. I have two that are accessible for sure, and one that I'd have to figure out how to make that work. But yeah, I mean, um, a lot of fun, talented people. Jason Crow, I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's really big also in indie horror and just indie film in general. Um, he's an actor, he's a first AD, he's a producer, and we got him on and super excited about that. Like just the cast is unbelievably talented and I couldn't be more fortunate in that regard.
so when are we expecting to see um My Blade Is Your Salvation?
So we're shooting this January and February, and in all likelihood, it'll be um, roughly 1 year of post production. With indie film, there's not a huge budget for me to pay a lot of people to do a lot of this. So I enjoy editing. I enjoy the color grading process. I would guess about a year from now, probably a little more than that, probably like December 2026.
So
Um,
when do I get to see it?
I mean, honestly, probably December 2026 is when it'd be available. November, December of that year. Yeah, that would be
Nice.
that would be roughly when it should be available.
And it's gonna go to festivals, obviously, and do the run, or are you going straight to release, or what's the plan?
So I'm not a big festival guy.
Nice.
If I'm
I
big,
respect that.
yeah, I could get into that, but that's a whole different thing. So something I've been building towards is showing our films on more and more theatrical screenings.
Nice.
And I do want to do a proper road show for this film. So 10 to 15 screenings in different parts of America, over maybe a 6 to 8 week period, and then, uh, streaming, and then physical. I'm a big physical media proponent, so, of course, physical media,
Nice.
and yeah, yeah, we'll go from there. I've released Blu-rays for all of our films, I have a few VHSs, and I really wanna kinda sort that so that those are all available also on our site.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So we're expecting a big year. Obviously, I'd imagine the Facebook page for it might calm down a little bit until
Yeah.
it starts shooting.
I like to keep things going. We're still raising funds through our Indiegogo. So like I encourage anyone to go to indiegogo.com and just type in My Blade is Your Salvation. You could probably just Google My Blade is Your Salvation. There are no other films with that title. And it'll take you there. The Facebook group itself, I'm gonna keep updating. I actually produced a Western last year, and I'm not a big Western guy, but I had a lot of friends that had helped me with other films, so I wanted to help them with theirs.
Nice.
And that Western will be out. I'm expecting early next summer. And so there's always updates. Absolution, the film that we were talking about earlier, it has one more theatrical screening, and I'll be updating with streaming and Blu-rays, and then
Nice.
we'll
Nice.
I like to like really update everything as far as like the pre-production process, us getting together and having meetings. Sometimes it's boring, just pictures of us, and sometimes they are pretty cool, exciting, like location scouting and discussing maybe the mask of the killer. And there's a lot that happens during all these phases. I like to keep people as updated as much as possible because, especially when people contribute to a campaign, I want to give them insider information, and just continue to give them something to see the progress, see how it's being made, and I think that's fun personally. I love following other filmmakers on their journey, so it's something that I
Nice.
try to share also. Yeah, so
I, I do.
there'll be plenty of updates. Yeah,
I do like. I'm in a lot of the groups for different
yeah,
indie films for people that
yeah.
have had on the show, and like I do flick through my Facebook now, and I was like, I've never met any of these people in real life, but
Yeah,
like my Facebook is now more so littered with actors and
yeah, 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 yeah.
films and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay.
No, same, same, and I kind of love it because it also it gives me something to feed off of also. Like it's amazing seeing so many cool people making new things all the time.
And most of the time, it's this person has been cast in this movie, and I'm like, yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
another movie
Hey,
to watch.
yeah, you get excited. Yeah, yeah, for sure. If you're not already, make sure you join Monster Kid Productions group on Facebook. I'll try to send you the link later.
Yeah,
It's just
sweet,
one more way for you to kind of stay in touch and keep an eye on things. Yeah.
sweet. I'll make sure I'll check that. What'd you say was Monster Kid?
Yeah, Monster Kid Productions is the name of the group. And also monsterkidfilms.com is our site. It has usually all of our updated information, new movies, Blu-rays, physical merch. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Right. Do you remember when I said I had a couple of hard questions I'd throw out at the end?
Hit me with them. Let's do it.
Right? Give
We'll
me your
see.
top five horror films.
Okay, this may not be as hard as you think.
No, but the
Uh,
next one will.
they may not be in order because the order always changes. But Evil Dead 2, Brain Dead, Dead Alive, um, The Thing. Um, hmm. See, when we start getting down to less and less options, that's when I have to start thinking a little more. I want to say Nightmare on Elm Street just because I'm such a huge fan of that film. Um, I'm gonna throw a little bit of an oddball in there. Martyrs. I don't know if you've ever seen
Nah,
it.
no, wasn't me.
Yeah,
Wasn't
no,
for
that's
me.
fine. That's fine. But to me, it's one of the most horrific movies
That
I've
filleting
watched.
scene is awesome though.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No,
Mm,
it's pretty fucked up. So
mm.
I think right now and as soon as we get off here, I'm be like, man, I can't believe I forgot fill in
I
the
fucked up.
blank.
I fucked up.
Right, 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 right. I saying like Evil Dead 2 and Dead Alive and like Nightmare on Elm Street and The Thing, those are pretty much evergreen for me. So like I'll never feel like I fucked up if I say those. They're
They're the
just so
safety blanket.
they're so good. They're
Mm.
so good. Yeah. So
Right. then seeing as you have a Michael Myers top on, right?
Yeah.
The question. So when this show, when we had guests for over a year, we ran a thing when Carl was part of the show. Was Dog Soldiers American Werewolf? Which one was better, right?
Hmm.
Then it went to Jaws and Jurassic Park, or which one you'd pick,
Okay.
right? So now I've taken a new thing over the last four guests that we've had on the show,
Okay.
right? And it started with Corey Cowley, um, and it's give me your top five John Carpenter films.
Oh, so John Carpenter might be he might be my favorite director of all time. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And no matter what I say, I'm leaving something off the list. I guarantee you that. The first one's not even horror. So, Big Trouble in Little China. Boom.
Yes,
Fucking fantastic movie.
that's my favorite movie of all time.
It's so good. It is so good. I'm gonna shock you because I guarantee you Halloween is not gonna be on the list.
It
Uh,
didn't. It didn't make my list either.
yeah, yeah. Well, no, it makes most people's. Um, so God, let me think. Um,
It's all right. You got the right answer with number one, anyway.
it's such a good movie. I mean, I think it's a horror film. They Live is pretty.
Fantastic movie.
It's pretty high up there. Prince of Darkness, I think, is just an underrated film. I don't
Oh,
think people. Yeah,
clinically.
yeah. It's so good in so many ways, and that scene when the demon is like that guy is just sweating and he's like laughing and it's so fucking haunting. Like it's just yeah. And the cast is so much better than like it's just it's so good. What else? I'm trying to think of what other ones would stick because I feel like I'm gonna miss the obvious ones, and that's what's starting to make me worry. Um, I I get a kick out of vampires, but I don't know if I'd include it on the list. Like
That was fun, and that's all that was.
it's fun. It's fun,
Yeah,
and I think James Woods is just playing himself.
yeah.
Um,
I said that before. It's just him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna throw it on the list. Mostly because I always think, yeah, it's a good movie, but then when I go back and rewatch it, I'm like, holy shit, it is so fantastic, and that is Christine. Uh, but
Ooh, that's a
between
first
the
time mention.
Yeah, between the effects that are used, like, and the time, like when it was made, and like every time I watch that film, it just shocks me at how much I forgot how great it is. And it is great. It's just so fantastic. Are we at four? What are we at? I'm trying to think.
Well, we've got Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah,
We've
yeah,
got Prince of Darkness, They
yeah,
Live, and
yeah, yeah,
Christine.
yeah. Number five. What would be another one? God, John Carpenter. I'm missing a bunch of the ones. I love the Sam O'Neill one. What is that called?
Oh, Mouth of Madness,
Mouth of Madness. But I don't feel like that's. I'm forgetting a big one. I'm forgetting a really big one that I'm gonna like get so mad at.
The Fog,
I like The Fog. I wouldn't put it in my top. I
Assault on
wouldn't.
Precinct 13,
That one is so. I've only watched that one a couple times, but honestly, it's
Award.
fantastic. Nah, the ward's not on my.
Uh,
The
I
ward's
like the
definitely not.
Ward.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that it's not. It's definitely not in my top. My dog is having issues. I think I'd probably go. I'd pro. I guess I would throw The Fog in there. I love the opening of The Fog. I love when they're talking about
The ship.
when they're doing the storytelling. It's just yeah, it's really
So,
good.
so I've entrapped you now because you left the thing out.
I didn't say that one. I thought I said it.
No,
Yeah, well, I mean that obviously is going. That always would be on the list. It's my favorite film of all
I
time.
I entrapped you there. That's why I intently went away from it to see if you'd go with it or not.
I honestly thought that I'd said it because like
No,
it'll always be way up there as one of
it
my favorites.
was Big Trouble in Little China, Prince of Darkness, They Live, Christine, and The Fog are the five you said.
Yeah, I would take The Fog off and put The Thing for sure. I mean, The Thing's gonna be number one. Yeah, I think
It,
because I said it earlier.
it was an
I just
entrapment.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
um, yeah. No, Big Trouble in Little China is my favorite movie of all time.
It's so fun. I mean, yeah, it's yeah. I
So
love it.
for years and years, I always said Heat was my favorite movie, and it
Okay.
wasn't up until like 2 years ago
Yeah,
when I realized I watch Big Trouble in Little China a lot more than I watch Heat, and I enjoy watching it a lot more.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
Heat's probably a better film,
yeah.
but
I I do think that's interesting. Like, you know, what's your favorite film versus what's the best film? I don't know. I mean, like, what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy watching more? You know, like you said, and that's why I come back to movies like Evil Dead 2 or
oh,
Dead
there's
Alive.
comfort blankets, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. They're just fucking fun.
No, the right. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let you go because we're getting late in the evening now.
Sure.
But we'll definitely line up again at some stage, and maybe we'll do a talking shop show where it's just horror all the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, and I'd be more than happy to come back on and or maybe after the movie's done, we could talk about that also. So yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I'll definitely have you back on when it's released as well.
yeah, yeah,
But we could definitely do a talking shop show
yeah.
because I think we have some good views together, and then we'd have some embattling views along
I
the way.
I love that too because I'll never tell you you're wrong, but at the same time, I'll think it.
You, sir, are wrong. Now, see, I'm very blunt. I'll just come out with it and say, yeah, no.
Yeah, no, no, yeah. I'm so easygoing. That's perfectly fine. It's not going to bother me or offend me in the slightest.
Yeah, it's like when you said the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street was better.
Well, no, I did not say that.
No, with that I'm cutting that out. No, but James, I'm looking more than forward to seeing the other films. And best of luck with the production on the new one and the
Yeah,
Indiegogo campaign.
yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely, and I appreciate you. And as I said, we'll definitely do another episode or two along the way.
Yeah,
Um, but for now, folks, I'm going to leave this the way I finish every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.